Concepts of new literacies, globalization, multiculturalism, and media literacies. New literacies refers to new forms of literacy made possible by digital technology developments. Commonly recognized examples include instant messaging, blogging, social networking, podcasting, photo sharing, digital storytelling, and conducting online searches. The National Council of Teachers of English defines 21st century literacies as the ability to develop proficiency and fluency with the tools of technology, build intentional cross-cultural connections and relationship with others so to pose and solve problems collaboratively and strengthen independent thought, design and share information for global communities to meet a variety of purposes, manage, analyze, and synthesize multiple streams of simultaneous information, create, critique, and analyze, evaluate multimedia text, attend to the ethical responsibilities required by these complex environments. The 5 skills that must be taught to address the gap in students' new literacy skills are the ability to identify questions and frame problems to guide reading on the internet, the capacity to identify information that is relevant to one's need, competence with critically evaluating online information, facility with reading and synthesizing information from multiple multimedia sources, and understanding how to communicate with others in contexts where information is learned about and shared collectively. Globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and population brought about by cross-border trade in goods and services, technology, and flows of investment, people and information. Countries have built economic partnership to facilitate this movement over many centuries. Globalization changes the way nations, businesses, and people interact. Specifically, it changes the nature of economic activity among nations, expanding trade, opening global supply chains, and providing access to natural resources and labor markets. The types of globalization according to Drew: political globalization, social globalization, economic globalization, technological globalization, financial globalization, cultural globalization, ecological globalization, and geographical globalization. Globalization of education is the integration and application of similar education system and knowledge throughout the world across the borders, improving the quality and deployment of education worldwide. Globalization is a complex event that has had long-reaching effects. The effects of globalization on education bring fast development of communication technology and foreseeing changes in school systems around the world as the ideas, values, and knowledge and change the role of students and teachers. Multiculturalism is the way in which a society deals with cultural diversity, both at the national and at the community level. Sociologically, multiculturalism assumes that society as a whole benefits from increased diversity through the harmonious coexistence of different cultures. A multicultural practice means that there will be fair and equitable treatment of others by individuals, groups, and institutions. Instead of racism and discrimination, there will be respectful and equal treatment of individuals and groups from any ethnic, social, or immigrant background. Multicultural education values different students' culture and prepares students to thrive in a diverse world. At its core, multicultural education fosters equality, justice, and equity, and it establishes the reality of philosophical ideals in classroom environment. Goals and characteristics of multicultural education. First, content integration is a key feature in which multicultural education and refers to the ways in which a teacher will use ideas from a range of culture or ethnicities to describe a concept. Second, prejudice reduction are lessons specifically aimed at teaching students to develop a positive view of different ethnic and cultural groups. These types of lesson will often include positive imagery of ethnic minorities. Third, equity pedagogy. This part of multicultural education deals with how lessons are taught when facing a class of mixed race. Equity pedagogy aims to deal with this difference in learning style and employ styles of learning that will best achieve the academic ability of the students. Last, empowering school culture and social structure. This is a term that describes how a school culture must change in order to accommodate students from different cultures and make them all feel a sense of equality. This is done by employing learning methods as described above and making a concerted effort to change the attitudes and belief in a school to suit a multi-ethnic group of students. Media literacy is an expanded conceptualization of literacy that includes the ability to access and analyze media messages as well as create, reflect, and take action using the power of information and communication to make a difference in the world. Core concepts of media literacy. First, all media messages are constructed. Media texts are built just as surely as buildings and highways are built. The key behind this concept is figuring out who constructed the message out of what material and to what effect. Second, media messages are constructed using a creative language with its own rules. Each form of communication has its own creative language. Scary music heightens fear. Camera close-ups convey intimacy. Big-headedness signal significance. Understanding the grammar, syntax, and metaphor of media language help us to be less susceptible to manipulation. Third, different people experience the same media messages differently. Audiences play a role in interpreting media messages because each audience member brings to the message a unique set of life experiences. Differences in age, gender, education, and cultural upbringing will generate unique interpretation. Fourth, media have embedded values and points of view. Media messages carry a subtext of who and what is important, at least to the person or people creating the message. The choice of a character's age, gender, or race, the selection of a setting, and the action within the plot are just some of the ways that values become embedded in a television show, a movie, or an advertisement. Media literacies in education. Teaching media literacy provides students with skills that will help them foremost think critically about media. It also cultivates other 21st century skills like creativity, collaboration, and communication, as well as increasing digital literacy skills through interacting with media, information, and technology. It is important for the teachers in school because it serves in the development of critical thinking skills, offering a tool to examine and to unpack diversity issues as they are represented in the media and conveyed in students' experiences.